Hey guys, I know this isn't live, however, right now I have the workshop going on, and so I wanted to pre-record this live training for you tonight, because I didn't want to miss it. I missed last week because I was helping my sister out with her little newborn baby, and then this week I have the workshop going on at 8:30, which is the time I would normally hop in this group and have our Tuesday night lives. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to create content without the overwhelm. So there's so many different platforms of social media, of your website. You feel like there's so many different places to be showing up. There's Facebook posts, there's Instagram posts, there's Insta stories, there's Twitter, there's Pinterest, there's blogging, there's podcasts, there's all these different platforms and areas that you feel like you need to be reaching out and using for your business growth. But it can be really, really overwhelming, right? It can feel super overwhelming even if you're just on a few different platforms. Like, how am I going to create a post for each day? How am I going to not get tired of talking about my area of expertise? Because you get to a point where you start to feel like you are just repeating yourself, right? You feel like you don't have that much to talk about. You could start feeling really burned out with trying to come up with new content all the time. There's Facebook groups you have to be posting in. It can feel really overwhelming and feel like you're running out of words, running out of ideas, right? So tonight I wanted to talk to you about my content creation process and schedule and how I am not constantly trying to come up with new content, because I sit down and plan out my months, I plan out my weeks, and it just works really, really well for me. So I wanted to share that with you if you're feeling overwhelmed. So what I do with my content is, first, I only picked really 3 areas that I work on, that I create content for, but I really only create one piece of content for each day, and it gets almost regurgitated in different kinds of platforms. So I have a YouTube channel, I have this Facebook group, I have a blog on my website, I have an email list, I have an Instagram, and I use Insta stories. And so even just that, where it's really just 2 platforms, Instagram and Facebook, it begins to feel like, oh my gosh, I have a business page, I have a Facebook group, I have my Instagram, I have my email list, I have my blog, And so I sat down, and with 3 kids, 3 and under, there's not much time, and it feels like either you have time to work on client work or you have time to work in your business. There's not both. And so I had to learn by mistakes to really focus in on only creating really high quality content one time and putting it on all those different platforms. And in a way to where because the fact is, not everybody is on every single platform that you're on. So people in my Facebook group, like you guys are not necessarily on my business page. You guys are not necessarily following me on Instagram. Maybe you don't watch YouTube. So basically, all these different platforms, it's not that you have to create different posts and different content for each. It's just that you're utilizing those contents for the same great high quality content that you already put on one platform. So this is kind of what my process looks like. I really, really enjoy Facebook Lives. I think it's easier for me than to do a Facebook Live about a piece of content than to sit down and write a blog post. And however, I know that blog posts are super crucial for your website SEO, which is search engine optimization. It really lets Google see that you know what you're talking about, because you're constantly updating your website by publishing a new blog post, and you are constantly using the same keywords and phrases that people are searching on Google. So blogs are really, really great as SEO strategy for your website. If you don't have one and you don't know where to start, reach out to me. I can help you out with that. So basically, I was blogging, and I'm a good writer. I just honestly don't enjoy it. And so I started out saying, okay, I'm going to blog once a week. And it was a really dreaded task. I hated it. It took me forever. I felt like I was doing it just to check it off. And then eventually it was I never did it. I was late. I did it every other week. Maybe I did it once a month. It was really hard to stay consistent. And if you're finding that it's hard to stay consistent on a platform, listen to this. Drop it. Don't focus on it. You don't have to be everywhere at once. If you really feel like it's crucial for your business and people are showing up following you on that platform, create your content on a platform that you really enjoy doing it on, and then transfer it to that other platform you really can't stand. So for me, I started doing Facebook Lives once a week. I really enjoy them. I feel like it's more natural for me. I like, seeing your comments, seeing your hearts, seeing your faces. And so I stopped blogging. And I have a VA who's wonderful. I love her. She turns my Facebook Lives into a blog post for me. She does my blog graphics. I gave her the template. She, writes it out according to my Facebook Live, and then she turns it into a blog post for me. Also, she uploads it onto YouTube for me. So my YouTube channel is literally my Facebook Live from this group. That's it. Further on down the road, when I'm not as busy with kids, when I have more time, I may focus more on my YouTube channel, and they might not be just downloaded from Facebook. They may be more professional videos, and I could see myself doing that later on down the road. But for now, I'm utilizing YouTube just as a way to get my Facebook Lives to show up on a different search platform, to really keep a running, glossary of them. So if people need more branding advice, I can point them to YouTube instead of because on Facebook groups you can't really find your YouTube videos, or not your Facebook Live videos, after a day or so. So basically what my content creation process looks like. I sit down once a month. Once a month, I sit down and plan out all my Facebook Live, Tuesday night live content. So I look at my calendar, I say, okay, April 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live. I type that all out in a schedule. I start thinking about the questions I've been getting. Maybe I think about an overarching subject for that month. One month I did websites. I talked all about websites. One month I talked all about social media. And there's different avenues that your expertise can be talked about. So think about these overarching subjects, and maybe make that a subject for a month or two, depending on how much content you can talk about. And basically what you're doing is you're just breaking down these big subjects into little subtitles almost, and little areas to concentrate on. It doesn't have to be this huge Facebook Live, because honestly, people don't want that. They want it broken down for them because you're the expert in that area. They aren't. You need it to make it easier for them. So once a month, I sit down, I plan out 1 or 2 months in advance for Facebook Lives. A lot of times, I don't outline those. I just know I can talk about those things. So when it comes to Tuesday or Monday even, I'll look at the topic for this week and I'll start thinking about it. I'll start practicing. I don't spend a ton of time doing that because I have, clients to take care of and kids to take care of. And that's why I like Facebook Live, is that it can be more of a natural conversation place where I can teach. I like teaching. And so once a month I do that. Then my VA has a blog schedule. I just give her the link to my Facebook Live. She turns it into a blog post. Those are posted every Thursday. And honestly, it's just really nice. I spend, 30 minutes doing a Facebook Live once a week. And then all of a sudden I have a Facebook Live, I have a YouTube video, I have a blog post, and I have her pull 3 or 4 pull quotes from my blog to have in a promotion schedule for my blogs, and those are rotated. So it's really simple. So once a week, so that's my monthly schedule, right? Once a month, I also plan out my Instagram. So I'm only on Facebook and Instagram, basically. So I plan out my Facebook Lives, and I plan out my Instagram because I like my Instagram feed to look nice. I do my Insta stories just on a whim because I enjoy doing that. I don't do them every day. I am getting more strategically and branding things for it because I do want to, up level that, but that's not where it's at yet. So I just schedule out my Instagram Facebook feed, which I talked about in a previous Facebook Live. I use later.com. It's perfect. You can see your grid, what it's going to look like. I have my intern designer design all my graphics for Instagram once a month, batch task that. Batch tasking is your friend as a business owner. So once a month, I batch task the topics for my lives. I batch task my month planned, 1 post a day of my Instagram. I do not plan out the actual post words for my Instagram. I just plan out the pictures. Then when it pops up on my phone, I either say what's on my heart or I say what I am talking about for that day. So that's my monthly schedule. My weekly schedule, I plan out 5 posts for every Monday of what I'm going to talk about in my Facebook group, and then in other Facebook groups, if I'm posting, which I've recently kind of stopped doing that because I'm kind of going from online to local businesses. But I do plan out my content for 5 daily posts that I can do in my Facebook group, that I can do in on my business page, which I haven't been super active on that. There's ebbs and flows on what you're going to be active in and what you're not. That's just how it is as a busy business owner. But with the things that I actually do have planned out and have a process to, it's much, much easier to show up that way. So right now, I'm showing up consistently with Facebook Lives. I'm showing up consistently on Instagram, on my blog, and on YouTube. So it's really a great way. I'm only making one big, content piece for the week, and I'm using it on all those different things. So those are the tips that I have for you. You can also rotate content. So if you want to start using something like meetedgar.com, you can put in all your posts and they will rotate them out on a based on, the type of content you want posted, whether it's client testimonials, blah, 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 it will rotate it out for you, every month or every 2 months, so that you're not constantly losing those good posts that were really, really good. You don't have to keep, starving your brain by thinking about what you want to be posting. So starve your brain, that didn't even make sense. But what I mean is think really, really hard to where your brain hurts. So yeah, that's what I have for you. Let me know if you have any other questions. Later.com, Hootsuite.com, MeetEdgar.com, those are all really great tools. Facebook even has a scheduler. Another thing that my my VA does is once I have a blog post written, which she writes for my Facebook Live, she makes the graphic for my blog post, which I gave her the template for, and then she also pins that to Pinterest with my blog. So honestly, I'm on YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, and then my email list. Oh, this is one more point I want to touch on. My email list, I basically will summarize kind of what I talked about that week into my email. So I'm really just like reusing this content in a different way for each platform so that people who are on Pinterest and not on Facebook are still seeing my stuff. People who are on YouTube but not on Pinterest are still seeing my stuff. So you're like just covering a broader range of people without having to come up with new content for each platform. So hopefully that helped, and I will talk to you guys next Tuesday.